Okay.
Hi, Mr. Beadle. Thank you for agreeing to do this interview with us. Please tell me your name and about your business.
Okay. My name is Carrie Beadle, and I have been a chef for over 40 years now. And I actually started in a BOCES program. That's how I got my start when I was in high school. And I now I teach at Morrisville College. I teach culinary arts. Um, I work in the restaurant over there, and in addition to that job, I'm also the general manager at the White Eagle Conference Center in Hamilton. So I've been a chef for a number of years in a lot of different types of positions. Um, I've been more of in a management position of late, where I still oversee the kitchens. I love being around the kitchen, but um, I don't. I try not to spend 12 and 15 hours on my feet anymore like I used to.
Yeah. Um, so tell me what I would need if I were to come and work for you at either place. What would I need for my skills?
Okay. Um, Basic skill set would be knives, first of all, knowing how to use the knife properly, and so that you can get through production in a day. Probably the biggest thing I look for as an employer, especially, um, is something that you can't teach, and that's reliability. We need to know that you're going to show up every day on time when you're supposed to. And I'll give you an example. This morning we just fed breakfast for 80 people. Breakfast starting at 7:15, so people in the kitchen have to be in at 6 a.m. And if somebody calls in at 6 a.m., it's too late to get somebody else at that time of day. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work well in the restaurant, and so the reliability is really key. And that's, like I said, that's something that we can't necessarily teach, but if somebody can just show they're reliable, they're going to go a long way in this business. They're going to go that. And then just the wanting to learn. Don't come into a place with the attitude that you think you know everything, but wanting to learn. And most chefs are really good about wanting to share their knowledge um, and bring along young people into the business. So I found that it's a career that you can uh, gain really fast. You can go really quick from one position to the next just by wanting, that show that desire to learn, to want to get to the next step, and you go really fast. It's also a great field for women and minorities both to excel because there's nothing to hold them back. There's no glass ceiling or anything that holds students back or young people from getting to the next level. So it's more the desire. If they have that passion and the desire, they'll get there.
Would I need my high school diploma in order to be successful?
Yes, definitely. And then, and some people ask me too, what about the next step? Then do I need a college degree? Um, you can get a job cooking pretty much anywhere. You could get it without a high school degree. But then where are you going to go from there? Is that something, it seems good, you're making money, but you're going to want to go to the next level. You're going to want to be a kitchen manager or a kitchen supervisor or something, and that's where you're going to top out without the education. And the farther you go with your education, then the farther you're going to be able to go in your career as well.
So, what would the salary ranges be for someone just starting out or going into management?
Okay. Somebody with a high school uh, degree that wants to get into it, if they can show the desire, I would say they're going to probably start $13, something like that, an hour. With a 2-year college degree, you're probably going to be $17, $18 an hour. Once you get to where you're a manager or a supervisor, you're probably going to get into a salary position, and then you're looking more, a chef who supervises maybe 4 to 5 people and actually does the food ordering, creates the menu and that kind of stuff. Probably talk about 50,000 a year to start, and then it'll go up from there.
Right. And it sounds like there's plenty of room for growth, even if I start right out of high school.
Yeah, there sure is. There sure is. The big thing is to start getting experience, and then, like I said, just be passionate about it and want to show up every day and get better at everything you do. You never stop learning. I still study the books every day. There's new stuff. The foods that were popular when I first got into business. They're not the same things anymore. If I was still trying to serve that food, we wouldn't have much business. There's new things. You have to stay up with that. And if you do that, you'll do really well.
So, again, if I work for you at any place, do you ever check our social media accounts?
Yeah, all the time. And I've actually worked in a place where an employee got dismissed because of their social media account, saying things about things that had happened at work and whatnot. But just in general, even besides the social media account, your voicemail on your phone, if you put in an application, you want to sound professional when that person calls you back to call you in for an interview. It shouldn't be anything real corny. It should be very professional, who you are. That social media stuff follows you forever. And it's easy for employers to do that. They don't have to pay somebody to do a background check or anything. They can do it real quickly while they're going through a stack of employment applications. So it's really simple to check up on people.
If I were looking for a job with you, where would I look? Indeed, LinkedIn?
We use Indeed a lot. LinkedIn is another. It's real important, I think, to have a professional LinkedIn account if you could start that. Employers use that a lot. Indeed is one that we're doing. I think it's mostly because it's fairly inexpensive to find people that way. We do get a lot of applications that way as well, so we found that to be successful for us. And then the other thing is, you should always have your resume ready to go at any time, and keep it updated. But even if it's simple, even if it's you don't have a lot of work experience, have something that you can show that the other person maybe coming in the door behind you for that same interview doesn't have. And I also recommend building like a small portfolio, kind of like an artist would do with their drawings or their photos or whatever. Any event you've worked, that you've been a part of, even if it's volunteer, take photos of the thing and show people that. Employers like to see samples of your work that you've done. And then letters of recommendation are key too. And don't make them all from teachers or whatever. It should be, maybe a judge or a respected person in your town, or clergy member or something like that. But those are important, and employers really pay attention to that.
If I started working for you, is there a uniform? Do I have to bring my own tools with me?
Yeah, here we supply all the knives and that. You can bring your own if you have them. Uniforms we also supply in the kitchen and front of the house both. So not every place does, but we like to do that to keep everybody the same. We have a lot of our kitchen people have to take time in the dining room as well. Helping to serve, especially now with COVID. When we do a buffet, the guest can't touch anything until we hand it to them. So we have to dish everything up. It's more cafeteria style, kind of, if you will. So we have to have the chefs come out of the kitchen during mealtime to help dish up, because we don't have enough wait staff to do all that. So.
Well, that makes sense. Well, those are my questions. Is there anything that you want to share with our students, how you started, or anything
Sure.
inspirational?
Yeah, well, I would like to say that, as I started out saying, I started in a BOCES program. I actually, the way I got started in the field was I took homemaking classes when we used to have homemaking in high school, and I just liked the cooking part of it. And my homemaking instructor suggested the BOCES program for me. I did that for 2 years. And then I went out and got my 2-year culinary degree, and then later on went back to school and got a bachelor's and then a master's so I could teach and everything. But when I was in high school going through the BOCES program, that's when I really fell in love with cooking. And, it made me even want to be a better student in some of my other classes, because I just loved to be in the kitchen. I loved that. And I could start to see that this was something I could do for a living. I could really see myself doing. But in my wildest dreams, I never thought that I would become a professor in a college level. So you don't know what's out there. You don't know what's 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. But I think if you just do the best at everything you do, That stuff will come, and you don't have to figure it out today. You just need to get started at something. And the good thing about the culinary field and the hospitality field is any skill that you learn along the way is a transferable skill. You'll use it the rest of your life. It's not something like, if you decide you're going to do it and then you, at age 25 or 30, you decide you want to get into accounting instead, the hospitality skills, the guest services skills and things that you learned along the way, they're not wasted. You're going to use them just the same, no matter what position you end up in. So my advice is to just get started, fall in love with something and go for it.
Well, thank you so much for your time
Okay.
on this snowy day.
You're welcome. You're welcome.